Caring for someone with dementia is one of the toughest journeys, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm Allison Schreier, and my experience caring for my husband inspired me to create Zinnia, a therapeutic streaming service designed to support people living with dementia and reduce caregiver stress. Our research-backed videos are engaging, easy to follow, and they help ease the daily challenges like agitation and anxiety so that you can focus on connection and joy. Available by subscription on mobile and TV apps, Zinnia makes every day a little bit easier. Go to zinniatv.com and sign up for a free trial today. Use the code RESOURCE for 15% off an annual Zinnia subscription.
And people are confused. And you've got to personalize the Medicare to meet your needs. That's the most important thing that anybody can do. Of course, everybody likes to make a commission off of their insurance, but you've got to do what's right for you, for your family, so that you're not worried about anything.
And that's so important. By the way, we're talking tonight about our book. Toni and I wrote The Maze of Medicare. It's your guide to combine faith with good judgment to understand the rules of Medicare. A number of chapters Toni's written about specific situations, and chapters that I've written that deal with anxiety and stress and fear and depression. And you can order a copy of that book on Toni's website, TONISAYS.com.
Well, that's not the normal open for Medicare Moments. Indeed, this is a special edition of Medicare Moments with your host, Medicare expert, author, and columnist, Toni King. Hi, I'm Jim Glogowski, welcoming you to this edition where Toni was the guest on Encouragement Live, a nationwide radio talk show hosted by Don Hawkins. Well, it just so happens that Toni and Dr. Hawkins have co-authored a book called The Maze of Medicare. There's no other book like it on the market today. The Maze of Medicare explains everything you need to know about Medicare and also combines it with scripture and other positive sayings so that it can take the stress out of applying for Medicare, give you a good background, and know what to look for when it's your turn. And we know that 10,000 people a day are turning 65, which means a lot of folks really are signing up for Medicare. And it should be available to you at tonisays.com, like all of her webinars and other books are. And that's what this is all about. So welcome to this special edition of Medicare Moments. Now let's join Toni King and Don Hawkins as they continue with their discussion.
Toni King is with me tonight on Encouragement Live. I'm Don Hawkins. Toni is America's Medicare Life Coach. Our toll-free number is 855-586-LIFE. And Toni, something remarkable happened some time ago. You had the vision for putting a book together that combined faith, biblical principles with good judgment to help people understand the rules of Medicare. And you went to some high-powered publishers, and tell us what happened.
Well, I went to one of the biggest Christian TV stations that also publishes books, and everybody probably listens to them on TV, and I am not going to say who they are, but it was amazing when I was talking with one of their people about my book, The Medicare Survival Guide. They said they couldn't publish it because I was secular and not biblical. And I went, what? I am the only person nationwide that starts their workshops off with the Lord's Prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. So don't tell me I am secular. And I looked up how many books have to do with Medicare. I also looked up if the URL, the website, Maze of Medicare was open, and it was. So guess who got it?
You did, yes.
And I put the first book that has to do with Medicare and scriptures, and someone introduced me to you, and you helped me to design it. And we have scripture along with positive quotes. And one of the favorite quotes that I have comes out of chapter, I believe it's 13.
Right.
Where it says, enrolling in Medicare is not impossible, but Jesus said to them, with men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible, and that was Matthew 19:26. But what was amazing was the quote, nothing is impossible. Even the words say, I'm possible, by Audrey Hepburn.
Yep.
I see people coming in my office because I do consultations in the Houston area, or really nationwide because we can now do them through Zoom. And people are under such depression. And there's so many anxiety meds and all of this. And I'm like, why can't we just say a prayer, turn it over to God, and not worry about it?
Yeah.
But people are in a habit of worry. And all that we can do, all the church you can go to is not going to take it out if you just don't give it to God and let Him take it over.
Yeah.
So that's what you and I did, and we released this July 4th of this year. So we're giving Medicare freedom from anxiety, worry, and fear in the maze of Medicare. How's that sound, Don?
That sounds great to me, and I'm so glad that you and I were able to collaborate on this book. And again, we're making this book available. You can secure a copy on the website, tonisays.com.
This special edition of Medicare Moments features Toni King with Dr. Don Hawkins on the nationally syndicated radio talk show Encouragement Live. They're talking about the book that they co-authored entitled The Maze of Medicare. Now, The Maze of Medicare, along with Toni's new webinars, are all available at Toni's website, tonisays.com. That's TONISAYS.com. Mark that down, visit that website, and please share this podcast, Medicare Moments, with your friends. We know that 10,000 people a day are turning 65 years old. They need navigation and encouragement, and they also need direction when signing up for Medicare. And the very best place to get that is from America's nationally recognized Medicare expert, Toni King. And that's why we put these podcasts together. So did you ever associate the words stress and anxiety with signing up for Medicare? Well, that's one of the reasons why Toni and Dr. Hawkins wrote this book. Let's rejoin that conversation.
And also available tonight is a tool that can free you from stress, fear, anxiety, or depression related to Medicare. And Toni, we've talked about the book, The Maze of Medicare, and I believe that this book is an outstanding collaborative opportunity for people to deal with those emotions because, like you, I've talked to a lot of people who are stressed out about it, and it seems like this year the stressors are even higher than before. Do you think that's true? It
is exploding. Let me tell you something that's amazing, Don, that you and I did. The back of the book has a little guy that's got question marks. And he's concerned about Medicare, enrolling, retiring, turning 65, penalties, being laid off, COBRA. And up above it, it says, commit your work to the Lord and your plans will be established. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many times I have been stressed. And I just have to turn it over to God, and it's amazing what He does.
Yes. And some of you, friends, are in that situation. Maybe it has to do with Medicare. It could have to do with something else in your life. This could be a resource that would really encourage you because it will have specific answers to most of the questions, the basic questions that people ask about Medicare, but it also tells you how to deal with stress, fear, anxiety, depression. Toni, one of the things I thought about as we prepared for tonight's program was about adults whose parents are in the Medicare demographic, who are boomers. Do you think someone could order this book from your website and have it shipped directly to their parents, and it might be of help to them?
You know what? Someone can order 2 books, one for them and one for their parent, because kids have to help their parents understand this. And when a kid finally has to help their parent go into a nursing home, when their parent has Alzheimer's or dementia and you don't know what to do, you got to get in the game.
Yes.
You can't just be an enabler. You have to learn how to navigate the system. But let me tell you something. On chapter 1, you wrote it's not a scripture, it's a positive quote by Babe Ruth.
Yes.
And he said, never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. People are just fearful of everything, and we're scared to death we're going to make a mistake. And that's all coming from what we're hearing from our friends, what we're hearing when you get bombarded with all this marketing, and someone tells you better do such and such, or you're going to make a mistake, or you're going to do this, or you're going to do that. And fear has just got us big time.
Yes.
Well, if fear is an issue for you, you owe it to yourself to pick up a copy of The Maze of Medicare by visiting the website, tonisays.com. That's TONISAYS.com. And we'll have more from this special broadcast right after this important break. Don't you dare go away.
Caring for someone with dementia is one of the toughest journeys, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm Allison Schreier, and my experience caring for my husband inspired me to create Zinnia, a therapeutic streaming service designed to support people living with dementia and reduce caregiver stress. Zinnia offers research-backed videos intentionally created for people with dementia, engaging, calming, and easy to follow. Whether you need to ease agitation, create moments of joy, or make daily routines smoother, Zinnia is here to help. Family and professional caregivers use our content to turn challenges into opportunities for connection. Accessible by subscription on mobile devices and connected TVs, Zinnia is simple to use whenever you need it. Because when caregiving feels easier, life feels better. Go to zinniatv.com and sign up for a free trial today. Use the code RESOURCE for 15% off an annual Zinnia subscription.
Toni, there are a number of different situations that you deal with in the book Maze of Medicare. The fear of enrolling in Medicare online incorrectly, people who are still working, people who are receiving COBRA benefits. Any comments you'd want to make on those kind of situations?
COBRA is, people think that once they get on COBRA, they have 18 months before they can get on Medicare. And that's wrong. Once you get on COBRA, it's like an individual health plan. You've got a certain amount of time to get Part B of Medicare, or you're going to get a penalty. So a lot of companies will pay for your COBRA. That's fine. But if you are not considered an employee, you better go get your Part B immediately. And
COBRA does not qualify you as employed, correct?
That's right. They consider that an individual plan. There's so many different rules, and the worst thing you can do is ask your friends for advice because they can't even help their own self. A friend can mess you up totally.
Yeah, friends are good to pray for you. Friends are good to encourage you. But when it comes to asking specific questions about Medicare, Toni, I've heard you say this many times, don't go to your friends for Medicare advice. You're only compounding the risk that you'll make a mistake that will end you up in some serious penalties. You don't tell them how much money you have in your bank account. You don't tell them what's in your 401k. So why sit there and discuss Medicare with them? They don't know what prescriptions you're taking or anything. They don't know anything. Yeah. They think they do. Yeah. All of a sudden, everybody becomes an expert, and then you can't say, there are no do-overs with Medicare. You get one time, and that's it. One chance to get it right, and that's right. Why it's so important. Again, the book is The Maze of Medicare. It's a combination of faith principles to deal with anxiety and fear and worry and depression, and also ways to understand all of the rules and complexities of Medicare, how to enroll if you're retiring, turning 65, what are the penalties, what about COBRA, what are the rules, all of that. The web address, once again, Toni Says, ToniSays.com. Toni, again.
But Don,
yeah.
Churches need to contact you because this would be a great book for their church.
Yeah, great resource to put in the hands of, we'll call them boomers. Toni, thank you again.
In the hands of their people that are going to church with them.
Absolutely. Great opportunity. For Toni King, I'm Don Hawkins, and for all of us who are a part of Encouragement Live, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for listening to this special edition of Medicare Moments with America's Medicare expert, Toni King. Please visit her website, tonisays.com, to take advantage of her webinars that will help guide you through the process of enrolling in Medicare. Also, her books are there. There are special priced bundles that you'll want to share with your family members and other people that you know that are turning the age of Medicare this year. And also, you can go to seniorresource.com and see any of Toni's articles. She publishes articles weekly on seniorresource.com. If you would like Toni to visit your nonprofit group and speak to them, give us a call, 832-519-8664. That's 832-519-8664. That's Toni's national Medicare number. You can use that also if you have a question about Medicare, if you're signing up for Medicare, whatever confusion or questions you may have. Remember, everyone is unique, everyone is different, and you want to sign up for the program that suits your needs the best, your medical needs the best. Toni King really enjoys having questions, and you can send those questions to info@tonisays.com. That's info@tonisays.com. She loves to receive questions, and then your questions will be answered on a future Medicare Moments podcast. For Toni King, I'm Jim Glogowski. Thanks for joining us today.
In 2009, I met a gentleman who was giving wrong information about Medicare, which cost him over $10,000. After helping him, I knew that it was up to me to start advocating for America. Hi, I'm Toni King, host of Medicare Moments podcast. Join me every Wednesday as I share tips, strategies, and little-known facts I've learned over the past 20-plus years. I put Medicare into people terms, and I want to help you personalize your Medicare, because with Medicare, it's what you don't know that will hurt you. Medicare Moments is available now anywhere you listen to podcasts.